Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around for our tech difficulties that we had. We are about to get started with our second race of the 5th annual Herb Percent Tournament.
That's right. So we had the first race just a few hours ago. And yeah, this is the second race. We have 4 runners on stream, and there's another runner off stream. We took the top runners for the from a pre-qualification seed to be on the pre-stream or on this restream here. And yeah, and the commentators are myself, the Axeman, and Amalas.
Again, welcome in, everybody. Congratulations, Axeman, to your win earlier in the races today.
Thank you. So we have the 4 runners here, edgiestick, sYn, ALIENsCUBE, and PlasmaKappa. And all 4 of these runners have been racers for a while. They are so let's see, what do I know? edgiestick has been doing, he does the weekly regularly, I know. ALIENsCUBE, I haven't seen him play for a while, but he is a solid runner, and I think he was in the finals, maybe in one of the Herb Percent tournaments. sYn has been okay, and sYn is relatively new to the randomizer, but he has done the speed run quite a bit, and he's been really hitting practice on the randomizer. So I'd expect great things from all these people. Kaz and PlasmaKappa, I know he also runs the weeklies regularly as well. So the rando always starts out with this. We get one item from the magician here, and then we go into the underground castle. And this first area is always what we do first. So you're always going to start on level 1, going through this area and getting picking up a few items, picking up a few souls. So you haven't know much about Soul Blazer. we can get the souls. So we release the souls of all the NPCs in town, and we also pick up items from chests. So you see, we got to the first chest. We also picked up an item from the wizard. That was a medical herb. And the reason why we call this Herb Percent is because there are quite a few medical herbs. I believe the first item from the magician was elemental mail.
Sorry, Iceman. I'm still trying to take care of some of our issues and get everybody synced up here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah. I guess we've got a little time lag on some of these. So what are the odds for a pedestal seed? So it's only one item. It's not bad, because the way the randomizer places items is it goes forward. Looks like we got the past from this chest. So this first area, there's I think three. Well, so there's 2 chests, and 3 chests, and there's the crystal, which also gives an item. And so we've got that pass, which lets us get in there. Let's see, what are the other? So the randomizer will never put the VIP card on the queen. It will only put missable items on the queen. But the queen could have magic or equipment. Not one of like the progression things that like would be bad, but because once you do the Leo cutscene, the queen is gone forever. So the queen's item is missable. Of course, you can't do the Leo cutscene without the VIP card, which means, in theory, the queen could have the VIP card be okay. So far, we're not seeing... we saw the bridge. We haven't seen what our progression is, because in this first area, we're going to have to get something that'll lead us to the next area. And so far, we haven't seen so those options could be the village chief, which would take us to Act 2. The other ones are the red hot mirror.
Along with the old woman to be able to get to that village chief.
Yes. And we're getting some nice multi-spawn layers as well. Wow. So the other way is the bridge. So across the bridge, we could get the water mill, which would take us to the next part of the underground castle. And then there's Leo's painting. It looks like that's what we're going to get. We're going to get the next part of the underground castle.
Nice, good, steady Act 1 start.
Yeah. So we're going to get a little more time in Act 1. Sometimes you get that progression to Act 2 right away. But we're going to get a little more time in Act 1.
The runners are definitely going to like that. Give them time to gain some levels. Hopefully be about 4 or 5 before we go into Act 2 versus here at level 2.
We'll see. If you're noticing, the numbers coming out of these enemies are mostly 1s. That means we're getting 1 experience per enemy. And it takes a while to level up like that. When you advance to the next act, you can level up pretty fast.
Okay, some intentional death warping going on from our runners as they finished up the first part of the underground castle.
Yeah, this is almost always, it's pretty much always the best to take a death warp here. Those warps will bring you back to the central floating castle, and then you can go back to the world. Each world has 3 different teleport points, and those get used in different ways. Always one of the bottom teleporter will always take you to the to sort of like the town area. So our haul for the first area here, and the item that we picked up from this pushing the flower. So we see our runners grabbing items as they're coming out, because you could pick up a very nice, powerful sword that would be nice to have early on, or magic, which is also nice to kind of clear the layers more efficiently. So we're going to see them early on for sure, checking these NPCs and other items as much as we can to try and power up a little. And it's not just to make things easier. There are certain swords that are required to hit some special enemies. There's like a metal slasher sword and a spirit sword for ghost enemies. So we'll want to be acquiring those. That's actually one of the first things, because some of those special enemies are in these first 2 acts. And there's the crocodile. The crocodile for the emblem check. That's going to make things interesting. If the emblem is in play, that's going to make this a fun seed. We see we've got 2 of the emblems already. There are a total of 8. In the vanilla game, that is what you get is the magic bell, which is kind of neat. But by the time you've picked up all the emblems, you'll be at the end of the game, and it's not particularly useful. But in the rando, that could be anything.
No, and if you're new to the vanilla game, getting that magic bell can be useful because, you're still learning like how to take on the monsters in the world of evil. And as you notice, every time the players die, the gems that they've collected get reset unless they have equipped that magic bell or a strange bottle.
That's right. And the strange bottle gets consumed when you use it to save your gems, but the magic bell can go over and over. So we're seeing some interesting stuff here. We got the secret snail, which is holding an item. Normally, when you're looking at the NPC that gets released, you're kind of making a mental note if that NPC gives out an item, because you want to make sure you remember that so that you know, okay, let's go check that NPC. The other thing to remember is if it's like progression, and so in this case we've got the king. So the king, actually we've got two kings here. We got the dwarf king on the mountain, and we've got King Magritte in Magritte Castle. However, we did not get so we need some NPCs in order to reach those kings. We can, having them out, so for the Mountain King, having him out opens the jail if everything else gets spawned, and so that's actually good enough to reach to proceed to the next act after that. But eventually, you're going to need more NPCs so that you can actually reach him and do the dancing grandma's sequence.
Always a fun little thing to watch.
And then King Magritte, we also need another soldier that builds his castle.
Okay, there's our old woman to get to the village chief, so getting a little bit closer to being out of Act 1.
But we haven't seen the village chief yet.
Man, there's a question in chat. You're going to be better to answer than I will.
Oh, so right now I've been working on a new version of the rando, and I have an improved algorithm that kind of places the item in a more random way. And the version right now does a forward fill where it kind of says, here's the area we've got. So we're going to pick a progression and place those items somewhere. So for example, in the beginning, it says, the areas we have available are just the opening underground castle. And so we're either going to go to Act 2, so we need the old man and the village chief, or we're going to go to Part 2, which means that we need to place the bridge and the watermill, which seems to be the case here. And so it places those.
Or, of course, it could place the bridge, the architect, the old man with the painting, and the Leo's brush somewhere in that first act. And
so it's only considering the places that are already unlocked. So once you've got two areas, now it decides what's going to be placed next. So perhaps it picked the village chief after that, and it also picked the item spot that had where you push the tulip. So it can place any of that in the areas that are already unlocked. But the assumed fill algorithm that's more random, you can place it anywhere that's not blocked. And it sort of picks the items, takes all the items and randomizes the order. And it can put that, like the first few items can go anywhere. But once you've placed some items, now you've got some restrictions on where you can place later items. But in the end, you're going to have much more random placement. There will be some, so for example, the Zantetsu sword to beat the metal enemies still has some, outsized chance to become earlier, but much less than this algorithm.
Okay, so got runners in Act 2 now. They're starting to take on the grabbing plants that are very annoying at this level of the game, along with the flowers and the butterflies. Little tidbit, that is the only enemy in the whole game that actually has 2 XP values attached to it.
Oh, okay. So there's a few different, each layer has a different spawning algorithms. So there's multi-spawning and single spawning. So if it's a single spawning layer, the enemies spawn one at a time, and after you beat one, the next one spawns. Multi-spawning layers, as you can see on the edgiestick screen, they just keep spawning. And they keep spawning, there's a certain rate, so that's also randomized. And then there's also a certain number that spawn. And so they'll just keep spawning until they're all there. There's also a random number for the single spawn layers, and there's also a proximity single spawning where they spawn one at a time, and they only spawn when you get close enough.
As you can see, people having difficulties with these bushes and these statues.
Oh no.
These are the two hardest monsters to deal with, especially early game, because they do a lot of damage for being so early, and they move around so erratically.
So we would say they do a lot of damage, but they have armor and they have the shield bracelet, so they're only taking 1 HP of damage, but their life bar isn't that long, so I guess relative to their life, it's still a lot of damage. No matter how high your defense is, you always take at least 1 damage, unless you get the ice or the light armor. So whoever gets these statues down first, it looks like it's Edgy. I would give him a slight lead right now. We normally see this in the beginning, like a very linear progression through the light shrine or the water shrine in Act 1, and then things will open up a little bit.
Okay, and for everybody who is new to this tournament this year, just know that this year we've done something a little bit different. While yes, you see 4 runners here on the screen right now, there is actually a 5th runner that is running the seed along with these runners. So there is the possibility of an off-screen upset. Not sure it's going to happen, but just want to let you know that it is a possibility. We do have somebody watching that runner, and we'll let you know, like, if they make big plays or anything like that.
That's right, and I'm not sure how well he's synced up with this, but if I'm watching this right, he's actually a little bit ahead.
Yeah, he just moved just a little bit ahead. If, like I said, we're all kind of synced up to the right point.
Yeah, I don't see a timer on his stream, which would help, because we're all synced with the Racetime GG system, and so everyone's time should be synced to that. But this absolutely brutal early game here in the water shrine with these multi-spawning plants, and almost every runner has taken a death, some more than one, because it's just. And I noticed some runners took a pass on beating the enemies in the middle there.
Well, we saw a couple of the runners in your race do the same thing, where they came back to it later.
Yes, and that's totally valid play, because you can reach that middle island from either side. So if you skip it on the front side, what you'll have to do is beat another layer on the back to build a bridge there. Oh, and we see the Pathfinder boy. A good find early on. He's part of the path to reach the Mountain King. And Magic Flare. One of the more useful spells. It drops a small radius bomb but it's very powerful. So any enemy that's in that radius is gonna die. The thing is, the plants are invincible while they're doing their attack, which it was part of why they're so brutal. They also move randomly, and they're giving us the runaround here. The bubble armor. Oh, so we didn't get armor before. Okay, now we got armor. The bubble armor.
Everybody
And the
loves
spirit
getting that.
sword. The spirit sword is one of those special swords. You're able to beat ghost type enemies, so there's spirit type enemies, and they're in the light shrine. So in order to get to the light shrine though, we need the greenwood leaf. So if we see that greenwood leaf, that'll be good news for our runners. They'll really like to see that. They'll be able to get to the shrine and beat those enemies. And so you see some of our runners equipping. Actually, I don't know if they might all be doing it. They're actually equipping that spirit sword, but they can't swing it. All they can do is hold it out and poke the enemies. And even though so swinging it's nice to be able to swing your sword, but there's a minimum level requirement. And the minimum level requirement for the spirit sword is level 19.
Which, like we said, with the XP that we're obtaining at this point, it's going to take us a little while to get there.
That's right, yeah. We're not going to get it any time in this act. Now, if you get the Soul Blade, you can beat those spear traps that give you a ton of experience. But with the Spirit Sword, we can't actually get any sort of sequence break enemies until we get to the Light Shrine. SYN making some moves here with a neat trick to multitask those two layers here.
Getting some progression back in Act 1. Always a possibility that we'll have to go back.
So edgiestick using a little trick here where when the statues are multi-spawning, you can let some of them spawn and then run up to them because they don't start teleporting around until you move next to them. So you can let some of them spawn next to them and then they'll start teleporting around. And that way you can kind of split them up and you don't have to beat all of them at once. Can cut your work especially when you're getting low on hit points. We've got a fairly tight race here. edgiestick and slight lead, SYN right behind, and then Kappa right back, with Cube pulling up a little bit behind. And I've seen, good plays and some unfortunate bad luck from all the runners so far. I mean, this is a pretty brutal water shrine, which isn't uncommon. Oftentimes you do get this early on, and then, but then in the later game, you'll get some more useful items, and you'll get some extra level ups. That's right, the spears are killable, but you need the Soul Blade.
So our off restreamed runner is actually doing a little bit better than our current restreamed runners. I don't think he's taken any deaths here in the water shrine. So he's got a little bit of a lead, but not much.
And he did skip that. Okay, yeah, he just went back and got that central island layer. So he is just clearing the water shrine right now. And this is assuming that we're evened up, because I can't see his timer. So without the Zantetsu sword, which is the sword that lets us kill metal enemies, we're not going to be able to do that. And so it'll be interesting to see what the runners go for here. Actually, the other thing is, we don't really have any other options. I think the runners have to go to the Fire Shrine and keep playing, even though... So there are some metal enemies in the Fire Shrine, and so it's real nice if you're able to beat them, and you don't have to kind of like make a second trip later. But there's no other progression anywhere, you're going to have to go through without that.
Okay, looks like people are moving on into the fire shrine.
Teleporter outside of the fire shrine, and which is kind of nice because now after that teleporter is opened up, if you take a unfortunate death, you can be revived and get back to the fire shrine without having to walk all the way through the water shrine.
So currently there is not a way for us to randomize the enemies outside of the world that they're attached to, and we haven't figured out a way to make this more open world where you could decide to go to a different act to try to get that higher XP kind of kills. And agreed with Chad. If we had the Zentetsu sword, they would be getting major levels right now with all these metal monsters that are here in the fire shrine. However, right now without the Zentetsu or the Soul Blade, they're just gonna have to kind of run it like they would in the vanilla game.
Yep. So it looks like sYn is now in the lead. He's now on the second floor of the fire shrine. The second floor is kind of...
Francis.
Yeah, so it's only the Soul Blade or the Zantetsu sword that would let us take out these scorpions. So really no options for divergence right now because we got no progression in that water shrine. And those metal scorpions, they're going to go around the room, but we're not going to be able to do anything with them. Now, if you do have the Zantetsu sword, the scorpions always appear in certain places, and they go all the way around. So you kind of... there's certain patterns that you need to kind of follow to beat them efficiently. But since we don't have those any way to do that, they can sort of just go between the enemies that they can beat and clear those layers. So that's what they're going to do. What we need to see for progression is the Woods Guardian. That's to get past this act. There's another possibility, because we do have Leo's brush. We could get another area in Act 1, Leo's painting, which is the boss area for Act 1. So if we see Leo's house and an architect that builds some stairs, then we could have Leo's painting as our next area.
Oh, and everybody's starting to find Lisa.
Oh, I guess that's another progression area. Wouldn't it be awesome if the Woods Guardian or something neat was on Lisa?
Would be different.
Yeah, we did not have a required Lisa seed in the last race.
So I did just put a link to our Discord in the chat. If you're interested in learning this randomizer, like we said, everybody's extremely friendly. It's real easy to get started. It has links to our tracker, which you see on screen. Yes, you see two slightly different versions. It's just there's been a recent update to it, and so the ones on the lower part of the screen are running that update versus our top 2 runners who have a slightly older, but they do the exact same thing.
It's like the only difference is the stones are individually, so you can see which color stone you're having an issue with. Did we see it? What happened? Did sYn have a death, or did he just opt to leave?
I think he took an unfortunate death walking across the hot plates.
Oh, that's too bad.
While in Fire Shrine.
So yeah, that actually makes the Fire Shrine, this bottom floor of the Fire Shrine, is a little tricky, because not only do you have to deal with all these enemies and the metal scorpions that we don't have a sword to kill, and so are invincible to all of the runners. They're invincible to all of them at this time, but they've got to deal with this fire, and they do kind of like go on and off. And you can use a medical herb. As you can see, edgiestick's going to do that. Uses medical herb to save some time and keep moving.
And since I just saw him pop into chat, let's take a second to thank La Hulk for creating this randomizer that actually is allowing us to do this this weekend. Thank you so much, La Hulk.
Thank you, Hulk. So yeah, like every runner, because on a lower level, you always take 1 damage per tick on these heated floors. But since we're on a lower level, our HP is lower, and that means we have less health to work with. And these enemies are super annoying. They move randomly, and if they move further into the fire heated floors, it could be real annoying.
La Hulk, exactly how old is the randomizer? I know we're on our 5th annual tournament, but how long before the tournament started did you create this randomizer?
Okay, so it looks like we are going to get Leo's painting as progression. So we could still, there's a few more layers here. We could still see the Woods Guardian in the Fire Shrine here, but it looks like we're probably going to have to go back to Leo's painting in Act 1 for our progression.
Okay. It's good to know that we're kind of close in age to randomizer to tournament.
A very tight race here. It seems that sYn was able to catch up quickly, and he's right up there with edgiestick and Kappa. ALIENsCUBE is a little bit further behind.
So yes, watching how close this race is going to be throughout the whole thing is going to be really crucial going into tomorrow. So whoever wins this race, yes, will automatically move on to tomorrow. However, whoever comes in 2nd place in all of these races, whoever comes closest to their top runner is going to get a wild card into the match tomorrow and has like another chance at still winning. Race to race, whoever comes in closest.
That's right. And the current mark, so there's only been 1 race so far, and but that mark was set by Chitin, and his margin was 16 minutes. Yeah, 16 minutes and I think 17 seconds. So if we have, we don't need to have a particularly close race. 15 minutes. Yeah, as long as they could, get if they could get it under 16 minutes between first and second place, that second place runner will take the wild card from Kaiden.
Okay, and as you just noticed on sYn's stream, he was standing in this one particular spot that finally gave him an item. That is a hidden spot that you have in the vanilla game. A lot of times it gets missed, and just it really can mess you up not knowing those spots. There's three there in Act 1 alone, and then all the other ones I think is just a single spot.
So pretty linear so far. There's really, we didn't get any progression other than the Leo's painting here. And I haven't noticed, I think that everyone has gotten everything. I haven't noticed anyone making any, missed layers, but it's often hard to see. An average run of this, probably about 2.5 hours. So a fast run can be 2 hours or less. And depending on it also depends on the seed. I mean, we had a pretty brutal start here. That's going to add a little bit of time. And we're also having to go back and clear. So far, we've cleared. We'll have cleared most of the. This is the last area in Act 1. So we'll have cleared all of the areas in Act 1, and then we'll have cleared most of Act 2. And we still haven't kind of progressed. So it can also make the run faster if you get more powerful weapons and armor. We did get armor, and we've got a decent magic spell, but we haven't found the Soul Blade, which really juices up the easiness factor. Okay, there's the Mermaid Queen. That's an important one for progression. They'll be able to go straight to Act 4 once they can reach Act 3. We still have not seen the Woods Guardian. The Dream Rod. Okay, that puts Lisa in play.
Okay, so we will definitely have a full clear outside of our 3 metal layers, excuse me. Totally getting my numbers confused today. 3 metal layers here in the painting, which that will make the runners happy because then they only have to worry about coming back to Act 1 when they're doing a last minute item rush, looking for those last key items. And again, what we are looking for are the 6 stones, the 3 red hot items, the 3 soul items, soul blade, soul armor, phoenix, level 24, and all the pathing to get through the world of evil to fight the final boss.
And we see Marie, who is sort of the leader. She's the NPC that you need to talk to progress from Act 5 to 6. And there's the Woods Guardian. So a very loaded painting here. We found 3 of the Act progression NPCs. And those are also the stairs to go up from the first floor to the second floor of Leo's house, which are required because Marie the doll is in the attic. And so even though we found her, we need 2 stairs and a doorway to reach her from the start of Act 5. Okay, so
you see PlasmaKappa getting ready to go in and fight the boss of Act 1. Nod to those that have played Illusion of Gaia before. It is the same sprite as Strong Arm. He is referred to as Metal Mantis in this game, but nod to the fact that Quintet made both games.
So there's a gamble you can make here where, because since we don't have the metal sword, you could skip the boss and come back later when you've got it, assuming that you get it in pretty shortly afterwards.
But
it
very
looks
much
like
required with him having known the snail to get us out of Act 4. So very, very loaded painting early in the game with the boss or world NPCs.
Okay, so let's see. It looks like PlasmaKappa is gonna go ahead and do Lisa right away, and sYn's gonna take care of that as well. Not a bad idea. Get this out of the way. At least is sort of it takes a while. You've got to go through the dream, and then we've got to walk quite a ways through underground castle, and then walk back. The reason why you have to walk back is because there's not a good place to take a death warp. There's no enemies. Plus, we're on a higher level now, and so it would just take too many hits to die. So usually you walk in, get her items that are revealed by her dream, and then walk out. Looks like everyone's going to go for it. And
yeah, looking that way, even with our off-stream runner.
There's one item and there's one layer that get released. And so because it's just, one item and one layer, and it takes so long, some people would skip it. And so we have 300 gems and Ghost Ship. Wow.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
That's right, yeah. Ghost Ship has several item checks that, could come into play. I was gonna say if someone were to skip Lisa, then it could be interesting because they won't have Ghost Ship, and it could actually pay off not to have it. The Woods Guardian with Zantetsu's sword. That's our metal killing sword. And it looks like ALIEnCUBE's gonna go back in and beat the Metal Scorpions with the Zantetsu sword.
Well, and that right there could potentially be the skip you were just asking to have happen. He did not go do Lisa. So if Ghost Ship becomes required, we will know who is late to the party.
That's right, yeah.
But as you saw just that quickly, we don't know for sure, but that could place ALIEnsCUBE in the lead.
Now, without any... So, the level requirement for the Zantetsu sword is level 16. So, again, they can't swing it, but they can just poke, and the damage is going to be pretty low. It's kind of doing 1 damage per tick. And we got the tornado spell, which isn't... generally not as useful as the spells that we've already got.
Arguably the worst spell in the game.
I had some fun with it in the last race.
Oh, we watched it. We saw it. It was so much fun watching you use it.
In fact, I think I took a different route than everyone else, and I ended up using Tornado longer when everyone else found Light Arrow. And I found that Light Arrow, and I was kind of like, oh man, I could have had this so much earlier. But anyway, we're gonna beat these Metal Scorpions on this layer, and the second floor is where the Metal Scorpions... there's different ways you can route this out. The Metal Scorpions always start out in the same place, and they always take the same route around the walls. And so if you take that into account, you can kind of make yourself a pattern that's more efficient to beat these guys.
So very, very interesting kind of to see from my point of view. I don't know who else is watching our fifth runner, but he decided to go back and do the painting. I'm trying to keep a close eye to see what all he gets there. And PlasmaKappa decided to just go on to Act 3 and not come back and kill all the metal monsters. So
Okay.
a lot of route divergence right here, and we'll try our best to keep up with what all is going on.
So yeah, I think we had gems in the floor 2 chest, and it was tornado on floor 1. And they still have to deal with this floor. The scorpions give a lot of experience, and so that's gonna be a few extra levels. But it takes some time here to poke them, doing little damage. It goes a lot faster if you can get the power bracelet or the soul blade, which will do more damage, or if you can reach level 16, and then you can swing the Zantetsu sword. But that's going to require getting to a later act, because the enemies in these early acts just don't give enough experience. That's 32,000 experience in order to reach level 16.
Okay, so the painting, from what I saw, held an emblem, Bluster, and I forgot what the last zone was that it just gave me. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Wow. Well, that's an area that we may see some people go back and do, just because these early metal enemies often do have something useful. So far we haven't seen anything really groundbreaking. Oh, that's the we call them grandpa logs on the floor 3 layer from the metal enemies, and that is a completely required NPC. So everyone's going to have to come down here at some point. So hopefully PlasmaKappa doesn't forget, but he's going to have to come down there at some point. It may not come up for a while, but that is a required release for the Dancing Grandma sequence.
Not very many people skip over South Urta, so that's not so much a worry. And there is our grandpa at the lake to get to Gnome. So a lot of times when people come into to each world, they normally do whatever would be the normal vanilla first access area, just because it normally does hold some sort of progression throughout all the seed, whether it's just in the act that you're in or something later on. But we have seen people skip it trying to make big plays. It does happen. And that's what we love to see as viewers, is to see what kind of big plays people make and whether they pay off or not.
So here's Edgy making that same check that our off-stream runner had done, beating the metal enemies in the painting. Meanwhile, PlasmaKappa moving on to Act 4. This is a great progression because the enemies in Act 4, there's a big bump up in experience where you can actually, since we did get the Zantetsu sword, which lets us get to, so beating all of the metal enemies with the Zantetsu sword gets us to 11 or 12. If we keep going, to get past that, we've really got to have more experience, and the enemies in the on the mountain here can provide. Now, there are quite a few items on this mountain, so PlasmaKappa is going to be leading the way as far as moving further up in this seed. That's right, and we've got the common house mermaid holding the green stone. And PlasmaKappa didn't go back to get it. There's also another item in a chest on the side there. Yeah, it seems like a mistake not to go ahead and get that right away, because it could be. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff it could be. We do have Zantetsu and Spirit Swords, but
I think he's looking at it as he knows he's going to be going back to Act 3, just because Rockbird tends to be very item heavy. Okay, so it was the mouse in the wall. That was the one I was forgetting.
Okay. So, edgiestick getting Bluster and Ghost Ship, and then the common house was in South Erta, so we might see.
May see a Bluster play. It's about the best we can do at this point, since we have the bubble armor. But who knows?
The treasure chest on South Erta was just a consumable. So, between having armor and that shield bracelet, even in Act 4, we're only taking 1 damage, and we've also, put on a few extra levels.
So, Axeman, I don't know about you, but I know you've speedrun this a lot more than I have. That lower right layer that PlasmaKappa just finished, when it's like bats, have you noticed there to be any speed difference? Like if you pick a different spot to stand from on that layer, or is it just one of those you mentally get psyched out because you are hey, I can stand from the bottom and not get hit, and it just seems faster?
Yeah, there's a few different ways to handle that. One is to let the bats, if the bats, so there's actually 2 different variations. Sometimes the bats can go in different directions, and then they sort of scatter about. But if you go onto the layer, they'll all kind of converge on the layer, and then you can beat them. But if you go to the they're only going down and to the right, then if you can get either above that layer or to the left of it, you can let them, and they're multi-spawning, you can let them kind of all spawn and go off and do their own thing, and there's a little bit less lag, and then you just move in and get them all at once. Okay, PlasmaKappa is going to give us our first look at the mountain hype chest here. A stone, the mole's ribbon, the platinum card, and a medical herb. So the stone is good progression. We didn't get any more equipment. I'm sure everyone would like to see Soul Blade or Soul Armor, but and we've also got the Magic Flare is nice, but we do if we're gonna be going to other areas, we might like to have something like Light Arrow or Fireball, which is easier to hit enemies from a distance. There's a little trick where if you swing your sword, you can cause your soul to kind of move away from you. But that's, it can be tricky to pull off.
Probably the only little skill kind of that we have in the game that if you can learn it, you learn it.
Yeah, if you just keep mashing the sword slash button and hold any direction on the controller, your character won't move as long as if you keep slashing fast enough. You'll kind of be stuck in place.
Okay, so PlasmaKappa up here at the top of the mountain. If we do not get mushroom shoes with this check, it's going to be a go back and figure out where we're going next, because
and from what I'm seeing,
layers.
that answer is going to be Bluster, because I don't see anything else available. The other, I noticed we do have a bunch of the NPCs to get Gnome. I don't know if we have them all, though. And so far, no one has made that play on Bluster. Apparently, they missed the last race, because I made an early play on Bluster, and it really helped me out. But at the same time, Bluster can often be a bit of a trap.
Okay, I think what that layer PlasmaKappa just got, that might be our path to
It is! This is one of the most awesome things that can happen. PlasmaKappa's probably cursing right now because he's kind of like, yeah, I have to do Lanel. Because if you get the mushroom shoes there, like, you pretty much have to. It's right there. There are so many layers available in Lanel that if it's open, you almost always have to do it. Especially if it gets revealed early. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I doubt any runner is gonna skip it after getting it there, but and with this selection of magic, Kappa didn't get Tornado, but I mean, I don't think you want to use it anyway. And these wizards, it's really hard to actually execute the sword glitch, but we'll find out how everyone is at handling these wizards. This is going to be fun.
So yes, every NPC in the game has what we refer to as iframes when they first spawn. Those wizards, every rotation that they're doing, they are in their iframes. They move around to wherever they want to move around to. They are miserable.
The red wizards have a triple spread fire shot where the fire stays. The purple wizards have a simpler, just regular shot. And because we've got our magic selection isn't the best to deal with these guys. It's good for the bats. So the flame ball and the grandma's here. Okay, so Lanel completely required. We had one of the grandmas, and we're just getting started. There's a whole lot more here. So anyone who skips Lanel is going to have to come back. I doubt anyone will, but... Now, our off-stream runner is making the play for Bluster.
We'll let you know if he finds anything of particular importance.
Multi-spawning wizards on this layer, wow. This layer in the end here is particularly annoying because you're kind of stuck at the end, and all you can do, if these wizards teleport out to the edge like that, you can use your magic, but it's difficult to finish them. Luckily, Kappa has a medical herb here. ALIENsCUBE also making the dive to do probably Bluster, because we don't have Rockbird, I believe.
No,
you need to have Rock. Okay, yeah. So you need to have Rockbird in order to reach any of the other. So Rockbird blocks off the entrance to Durian and Ghost Ship. So we have that Ghost Ship statue, but without Rockbird, we can't do anything with it. So oftentimes you get a bunch of really nice items on the mountain here, but not See, we had a bit of a letdown. We got that stone, which is important, but it didn't quite power us up like Soul Blade or Light Arrow or something would.
Okay, and here in just a minute or two, we're going to see ALIENsCUBE get Phoenix Magic. It is on the crystal on the way to Bluster.
Oh, wow.
So, Bluster, 100% required.
It's still not a bad play to, skip it and come back later, because there's always a chance to come back later. But if you move on, the mountain has so many good items, you're more likely to get something good, you're going to get higher levels, and then you can come back to the ocean later. Phoenix is something that isn't really necessary until the end of the game. I wonder if PlasmaKappa knows about the trick to, swing your sword and move your orb away, because it's so useful when you have, in this situation where you have Magic Flare and you have to go through through Lanel. If sYn, yeah, we'll see if sYn remembers that trick, because it's just make the Magic Flare so much more useful in this situation. And you can see, he has to deal with all these multi-spawning wizards. If sYn remembers that trick, or any of the other runners, you'll get to see that they won't have to deal with these wizards as much. It's going to be so much easier for them. And Kappa's he's scared here. He's about to take a death. Maybe he's gonna try and open up the teleporter. Let's see what he tries doing. He must not know that trick. Yeah. PlasmaKappa here also using poking with the sword and doing less damage. If he would switch even back to the Sword of Life and swing it, he would be doing more damage. So one of the when you don't quite have the level to swing your sword, it's often better to use a less powerful sword and then swing it, rather than using your most powerful sword and just poke with it. You get this stun effect, and the damage can be higher, depending on the particular sword. But yeah, this was a brutal Lanel to do with the Magic Flare if you don't know that soul moving trick. You have to use a sword that you can swing. So if you're, which is another reason why you would switch back to even the Sword of Life, just to make sure you've got a sword you can swing.
Okay, so ALIENsCUBE, they're finding Lou the dolphin. No, we don't have the ability to get to him yet because we haven't found the other dolphin yet, but a potential item. PlasmaKappa, moving on to Act 5, finds the black stone. And the blue stone, making his way up to Marie. He's already got everything. And there's the recovery sword. Well, that's nice.
Wow. 2 stones. Now, we do know that PlasmaKappa missed, since he skipped the metal layers. I believe he skipped the metal layers.
Yes.
In the Fire Shrine. Yeah. And there was a required release there. So if he gets back there, eventually he's going to run into that that hole in his missing and have to come back.
He also did not pick up the green stone out of Act 3 on the
That's right.
Common House Mermaid, which he knew that because she tells you.
That's right. Yeah,
so
hopefully he remembers that.
Be very, very interesting to see, because that would put him 4 stones into the game already.
That's right. And Blester was on the metal enemies in Act 1 in the painting. So we know that's required now too.
Yep. So right now, PlasmaKappa, while being ahead in world progression, not doing so well in overall to get us to the end.
Yes, and he also he took a death in Lanel and didn't go back. So if there's anything else that was required in those later layers in Lanel, he's missing out on that as well. And he did not get the teleporter, so he would have to go all the way back up the mountain.
Okay, we see that dolphin on the far left in Act 3 showing up.
Ooh. So sYn is going to give us a look at what is in the back part of Lanel here. We'll see if there's anything left. So it looks like sYn not using that sword swing trick either.
Which is actually kind of surprising with him having run the vanilla speedrun, that he wouldn't know that little trick.
That trick is actually not used a whole lot in the vanilla run. You can do the vanilla run. In fact, sYn has a sub 140 vanilla runtime, which is very good. And yeah, so in the vanilla run, you get the light arrows so early that you really just don't need to use that trick with the sword swinging. Most of the places where you need to kind of like control your orb a little bit, you've got a wall and you can press against the wall. It's really, if you've got these certain situations where you've got the just magic flare, or maybe like spark bomb or flame pillar, something where it only places something at your soul's location. Okay, 100 gems in the chest. So PlasmaKappa not trying to figure out where he doesn't. We have some invisible enemies, and maybe he's not sure exactly where they are. He switched to Spark Bomb to maybe get a little more spread of where he's going. Also, we only have Bubble Armor, which at this point is a fairly weak armor, and so he's taking a lot of damage fast. There's also a trick with the magic flare in particular, where if you tap the button real quickly, you can kind of leave it. You can see that on edgiestick's screen.
The other thing about the model towns is because of the number of sprites that tend to show up on the screen, invisible or not, it does sometimes not allow your magic to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, we've got that mermaid in the lower left of the common house showed up there on sYn's screen.
Oh.
Thank you, Seru, for catching that other chest in the model camp was the iron armor for me. I looked up right as he grabbed the emblem one. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, just quickly things can very much change in this randomizer, from you being ahead to being behind.
So PlasmaKappa did not go into the basement of Leo's lab, which is an area that almost always, I mean, pretty much always has something. I don't think I've ever seen a seed where that wasn't required. So he doesn't have level 16 yet, which is kind of weird, but...
Well, with all that he didn't do in Act 2 and 3 at this point, he's kind of behind the XP game.
Yeah. Okay, and there's his level 16. So now he can swing. Now he can swing his Zantetsu sword. He is a few levels away from swinging his spirit sword, which is what's important here.
Okay, so kind of looking back at everybody's trackers at this point, since we know that PlasmaKappa has moved forward, there's at least one emblem that he has collected that the others have not, which means he has missed one. I'm not exactly sure which one at this point, because everybody is kind of all over the place. So sorry that the commentators are having a hard time keeping up with what all is going on, because it did open up in a very weird spot for us, but it is definitely still a good race, and we'll see how everybody handles it.
Oh. Okay, so there's an emblem in the model town. We'll see if anyone else goes for the model town.
Okay, and as you see there on PlasmaKappa's screen, these ghosts, one of the community members, Chitin44 especially, has helped us figure out that if you stand in the corner of this layer, doesn't matter which one, those ghosts will go around you without teleporting away and without doing any damage to you. So kudos to Chitin for letting the members of the community know that little trick on how to handle those monsters.
So sYn finished. He went all the way through Lanel, and that got him up to level 16. Now he can swing his Zantetsu, and when he goes back to clear these earlier enemies, he's got a much easier chance because he can swing that sword and beat them much faster.
Vanilla medical herb on that tool shed owner.
And Kappa also really pushing into Act 6 here, trying to beat these spirits with the spirit sword, not being able to swing it.
Our hype cave. Red hot stick and a stone. Very hype. Very, very hype.
So sYn has kind of got the best out of all the runners here. I think so far he's got the best between like thoroughness and moving through things. He went back to get Bluster. He hasn't actually done Bluster.
Brownstone on that squirrel sharing that tree.
Wow. I think, does that account for all the stones now? Because there are 2 stones in Leo's house.
Yes, that does account for all the stones at this point. Because the 2 that Kappa is missing is brown and green, which sYn has. And then sYn is missing blue and black. So yeah, that accounts for all of our stones.
Wow.
Oh, PlasmaKappa getting all that's required to get to our pedestal, so we can at least check that.
Let's see if sYn goes to Blester. That'll put him in real good shape. Meanwhile, edgiestick making the play that we talked about earlier, doing the basement, which there's almost always an NPC that's required. Possibly another grandma. We also need the builder soldier that builds the castle. And we see the lucky blade on a mermaid in Insane Elves. I don't remember where she was actually released. But sYn making, a bit of an item pass, he could get, this isn't a bad deal because you're going to want to do it eventually. And you can find things like better magic. You could find maybe a power bracelet, which would be nice to get right now.
So that mermaid was in the water shrine, and the dolphin was on the mountain.
Okay.
Oh, our lovely sleeping dolphin showing up there on PlasmaKappa's screen. So our off-stream runner, being very thorough and having gone back and done all of Act 1, 2, 3 that he could get to, currently is doing Lano, just kind of covering everything we've already seen. PlasmaKappa definitely making some interesting moves that I don't think I would see a lot of our runners do, and just
there he is. The builder soldier in the right tower. Yeah,
progressed quite this far forward when there's so much in the back to do. He is level 19, which now means his spirit sword can be, swung. So not necessarily bad plays, just I don't think ones I would normally see our runners do.
All right, and that's actually a big find because the best armor he had was the bubble armor. Now he got the elemental mail, which gives you a lot more defense. So we're seeing sYn do Blester. That's pretty big.
I think he's kind of realizing he needed to go back and clean some stuff up, knowing that he was still missing quite a few NPCs, being so close to being done with Act 5, going into Act 6. But, I've been watching sYn kind of all week prep for this. He's getting some phenomenal times in these seeds with just the way he's thinking about the logic of the seed layout. It's so interesting to watch him run.
So PlasmaKappa getting all the way to the king. So that means that our runners that will have collected all the stones will have everything they need to go to the world of evil, where possibly the last red hot item. So any number of these required items we've got between Soul Blade, Soul Armor, and our red hot ball. Some of that could be in the world of evil. And we're kind of in the no mode for that. PlasmaKappa taking his now swingable spirit sword into the castle basement, trying to finish that off. And he's got better armor, so he's going to have a much easier go than his last visit here. On the other hand, Magic Flare, not the easiest spell to use on these pinball enemies. So edgiestick going through the Leo's basement here. No one else has done this yet, and we saw one of Leo's Dr. Leo's soldier friends that we need to do the Leo cutscene. I haven't seen anything particularly earth-shattering. I don't know if anyone else has noticed anything on Edgy's screen as he goes through the basement here.
Also, out of everybody that's gone through stuff, you know, not really seeing the NPCs that give us hints the way we normally kind of find them. So I don't, other than, you know, the little boy and the mermaid at the common house, I don't think we've had anybody give us a clue as to who's holding what items.
So the other hints would include maybe there's one soldier that tells you what the sleeping soldier has. There's a soldier that tells you where the other Dr. Leo soldier is. So one advantage to the more thorough approach that edgiestick is getting from doing this Leo's basement is he's going to get some extra levels that PlasmaKappa didn't have when he first went into the paint. Now he's on level 20, but edgiestick will be doing, you know, fewer deaths. It seems like PlasmaKappa may have lucked out by not missing anything crucial at the last part of Lanel that he died and noped out of.
Definitely looking that way. But again, he still has a lot, you know, Act 2, the painting. I mean, just lots of things to go back to at this point to find some of those critical items.
SYN is living in Act 4, or Act 5. Let's see where he goes. That's all the stones for SYN. And he has been to Blester and picked up his, he picked up the Phoenix and the required release there. And he's going to skip the model town, which we don't think had anything.
No. Model Town 2 didn't have anything.
And now he's thinking, is he going to go in the basement or not? We've also got the power plant. He's thinking. He's
definitely debating which way he wants to go. Okay, back to
to the
basement.
This is a call that you can't, because it looks like it had Rockbird and Durian, which could lead them astray, but we'll see. Like, this is, you know, doing the basement here is almost always a pretty easy call. The model towns, you know, maybe not, but the basement here almost always has something totally important. So the reason why he's probably thinking so hard is because he's got so much stuff. You know, if we're looking at what we need, and the sleeping soldier has the red hot ball. That is a red hot hint. And PlasmaKappa didn't get that hint because he skipped the basement. I believe he found the sleeping soldier somewhere in the castle here. So
I believe when he did the right tower.
Okay, so if he does it, it'll be blind for him.
But how often do our runners actually blind pull the sleeping soldier?
edgiestick doing the power plant. This is an interesting play. There's only a few things here. There's 2 item checks, and there's only 2 item checks, but they have a fairly high chance to have something important.
our off-stream runner, just getting to the hype cave, getting that stone, and doing all that.
He does not have a tracker up, so I can't really tell where he's at.
I know he's one of our really new runners. Really just kind of set up his stream just to do this tournament. So we still got some bugs to work out there, but at least he's participating, which is one thing I can say about our community, is that they have stepped up to put forth this tournament every year. This year we had 14 members actually complete our pre-qualification seed, times a little bit of a spread, but not like super off, but it was a kind of brutal pre-qualification seed.
What did you do to us? That seed was absolutely brutal. I had not my best run at all on that pre-qual seed.
Queen Anne rolled every seed for this tournament. I just went through, made sure that they were completable without too terrible of a, So I suffered through everything just like all the runners. There's only one seed in the whole tournament I have not actually played.
Oh.
I can't tell you which one. So, but 4 of the 5 seeds for the tournament.
So it looks like everyone's going down in the basement now. PlasmaKappa went on to Act 6 and cleared the right tower and the basement, and then he went back to... Then he kind of went back, and he just got his hint for the red hot ball after, releasing that soldier and not doing his dream. Now he's realizing, maybe I should have.
Basement here, you will notice a lot of the runners kind of skipping certain layers. Those are mostly just paths to make it easier to get back through it that you would use in the vanilla game, that we've learned in the randomizer really don't have a role for us to play other than just gaining XP. And again, sYn, with only the bubble armor as his strongest armor, having kind of a rough time here in the basement with the damage, but handling his movement real well.
edgiestick is making the play on Model Town 2, which again doesn't look like it had anything important.
Yeah, well, hard to say what's in that chest of drawers up there with Marie, because we didn't see PlasmaKappa go back for that.
I believe he did. I think it just had a consumable. But yeah, I mean, he did get the iron armor here. There is an emblem, and we haven't seen what's on that emblem deer yet. Okay, so sYn...
See edgiestick, they're handling those invisible monsters a little bit better than Plasma did. But not really anything of importance so far. Level up just in the nick of time there for edgiestick.
So sYn checking the first chest in the power plant and then noping out. It looks like he's going to go on to Act 6. So making all the right plays here. Oh no, he's going... Oh. What is he going back for? Oh, he's going to do... Is he going to do Loon? He could.
I think he might be going to do Sleeping Mushroom and then the Loon.
Yeah, that's interesting. Instead of going on, he's gonna check Loon. which has, I mean, we haven't seen anyone else do it, but we know that the king, or we know that the builder soldier is in the right tower, which is the next kind of key spot, and there's also the sleeping soldier who has the red hot ball. But we are short a grandma, and we're short, let's see, do we have both, we have all the NPCs to reach the king? I think we're short one grandma, so possibly vanilla?
Potentially.
Yeah, we haven't seen it, we haven't seen anyone do this yet. We have seen the basement, so we've seen the basement and we've seen the right tower. And SYN still not having any ranged magic or using that orb placement trick. But yeah, you can do quite well in the vanilla game simply because the most powerful magic comes so early in the vanilla game that you really don't have to learn how to use any other magic if you're speedrunning any percent. Or 100%.
So SYN finally finding another armor there with the Mystic armor. Not much of an upgrade from Bubble armor, but at least a little bit better.
It definitely has some extra defense. He should be in pretty good shape in this act here. And also the Mystic armor has a special property where your iframes are a little longer than other armors. So if you're really tanking damage, you'll take fewer hits.
Again, link to the Discord there in chat if anybody is interested in joining and learning. Like I said, all of these runners that stream regularly are fantastic in talking with new runners about, you know, things they can do and whatnot. Try to help them learn and see what happens for next year's tournament. Just a little tidbit, the winner this year of the tournament is actually going to get a t-shirt as the prize.
Oh, nice.
I think Queen Anne said it's going to be a picture of Lisa and Turbo the Goat kind of like in the middle of our layout, along with a quote of the players choosing, instead of like we've had in years past. We've had quite some very beautiful prizes, so it gets hard to match year to year, like the level of what the prizes are. So kudos to whoever's going to win and get that prize.
Okay, so we have SYN doing, having been a little more thorough, he went back to Loon instead of going on to Act 6. We're not sure what we'll get. No one else has done this. We have PlasmaKappa going into the still clearing the basement. And then Cube and edgiestick both went to Act 6, and one's in the right tower, one's in the basement. I think there's important spots in both of them. However, having only bubble armor, they're having some challenges here, which possibly was part of SYN's thinking for doing Loon.
There we see Durin being opened up. Yeah, so for those that did not watch earlier today, Solar Cell 007 was our off-stream runner in our first race. And he had access to soul armor pretty early. However, ran most of the game on bubble armor, unlike our runners right here that have been forced to run on bubble armor.
Okay, so in Loon, we're seeing the ice armor squirrel. We also saw the greeter grandpa, who can be used to reach the king. I'm not sure if we saw. I think we've seen the boy in the middle of the Mountain of Souls. The PlasmaKappa going back.
Yes. PlasmaKappa found that boy in Right Tower.
So Kappa's going back to Act 3, but having cleared more of the game before he did this, he's going to probably do Rockbird first, which is not a bad call. And he's going to open up the dream layer here.
Not a bad call, especially with him having Rockbird to get that out of the way so he can get to those item checks. Because remember, he's missing quite a few items that our other runners have.
Yes. But we know, having seen the other runners, we know that the answer is Blester. But he gets the power ring on that Red Hot Mermaid. So the vanilla Red Hot, I forget which one she has, the stick or something. But that mermaid had the power bracelet, and no other runner has picked up a power up bracelet, which gives you a nice little attack bonus. You actually do twice as much damage.
Okay, and there's ALIEnCUBE finding the little boy in the middle who had the big pearl. So yes, PlasmaKappa had already found him. So we don't need the grandpa at the top of Act 4 to get to the king and the grandmas. So at this point, for NPCs that we're still needing to find and have not uncovered yet, our second grandma and one soldier for the Dr. Leo cutscene, and there is
That's true, yeah.
sYn finding our second grandma there in Loon in her vanilla spot, I believe.
Wow, that's amazing. So Loon end up being the right call. Now, if sYn goes to Act 6 and finishes the rest, and he could be in fantastic shape.
I think he's checking to see if he can. I think he's checking to see if he's got the path there before he.
Yeah, and
he
he
goes and
realizes
grabs that last item.
Yeah, he wants to. He's because it's hard to remember all the NPCs you've released, and so he's just making a little check here. Yeah, we've got everything we need.
Okay, and PlasmaKappa in the little undersea grotto, ice armor, mobile key, some gems.
And more gems.
More gems. So
pretty common result for that area. Not a high percentage. Because of the way the randomizer places things, there's something like a less than 10% chance that there will be something useful there.
Okay, and now sYn going on to Act 6. We know maybe.
So he's gonna go to this the basement first. I think that the soldier is here. Now he has armor because he's searched more places. He actually has better armor than either of the other two runners that are in Act 6 right now.
Okay, and ALIEnsCUBE, first one to the Dr. Leo cutscene. Let's see what happens. See if it's as spicy as Axeman's Speed this morning.
That's
with
right.
Dr. Leo having a stone this morning.
Yeah.
And now he has a lot of threats against his family is what he's got right now.
The soul armor! Wow.
So,
amazing.
total requirements.
Okay, so where were the three here? We had Dr. Leo and the 2 soldiers. Wow. Were any of them in any areas that we had like written off?
Right tower and the lab. So
okay.
No, hold on, maybe I got the wrong one. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think ALIENsCUBE has done anything that no one else has. So
all of them are in the lab.
Okay.
All of them were in the lab. Sorry.
Okay. So that's all areas that sYn has cleared. So he'll be able to get that if he gets to the top of the tower.
So now it is the hunt for the Soul Blade, because we know where everything else is.
Now, my money would be on the World of Evil. For sure, I would try. Well, I would be going, for the World of Evil if I could.
We'll see if ALIEnCUBE, makes that play as soon as he finds his other 2 stones.
Yeah, he's got to get those 2 stones.
I'm not 100% sure which 2 he's missing right this second. With him having the other version of the tracker up, but we'll see. So we know he's missing at least the silver stone because he doesn't have his red hot stick, and we know that the silver stone and the red hot stick are together in Act 1's Hype Cave, but I don't know which other one he's missing off the top of my head.
So the sleeping soldier was in that central layer that you have to actually beat 5 layers before you release. That is an annoying spot that a lot of people skip, but apparently there's a sense that we got to check everywhere. And the boy also has a big pearl. PlasmaKappa showing us Rockbird, an area no one else has been to because it was released a little later. Cube went back and picked up 1 stone from Act 1.
Along with his red hot stick. So he's now got all of his red hot items. I think that's where ALIEnsCUBE's at now, is just kind of doing that item rush, going back world to world, checking all the NPCs that he's unlocked and what items they have. Which would be very common kind of about this time in the seed. Yep. You've done pretty much everything and you're just kind of like, okay, what? Nope. Gotta have some sort of item progression somewhere here. We're still missing a couple of necessary items. Let's just see what we get.
edgiestick finding his builder soldier. He found the sleeping soldier, who we know has the last red hot item. Right tower fairly well loaded, but interestingly not in items but in NPCs. Normally we think the right tower, you've got these 4, so you've got 4 chests as you climb up the tower, and then you can get 2 more items from the Leo cutscene. 1 item from Leo and another one from the Queen, but all NPCs were important. I guess we had the soul armor on Dr. Leo on the Leo cutscene, so
that's huge.
Yeah.
But sYn here is slowly getting ready to be kind of out of other places to go. We do know that NPCs are not in the world of evil, so he's just kind of looking for that soldier to build that castle to get him out of Act 6, and then onto the world of evil to maybe look for that soul blade.
Edgy's gonna get his soul armor, and Syn's gonna go in the right tower. And if he clears everything here, he's gonna be in great shape. The disaster here would be if he skipped that middle layer. And he's skipping a layer on the top part there. That's confusing.
So, Axeman, from the viewing point of view, if you were running this seed, do you think your time would be kind of comparable to these runners, or what? Oh, and the Greenwood Leaf just showed up there in Rockbird.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what. I'm not sure how I would have played this.
Oh, and there's SYN taking on that layer with a little bit of distance.
He's doing it. Yeah, this is going to be big. So he's going to get his sleeping soldier here, and he's going to climb up further. He'll get the he'll get that, and he's got all his stones already.
Okay, and PlasmaKappa back in Act 2. You know, he does have his Greenwood Leaves, so will it lead to him doing Fire Shrine to Light Shrine, or...
That's right. I believe it was one of these Metal Scorpion layers had the Lester statue, which he needs to get some NPCs and Phoenix. So it looks like it's going to be a tight. The two runners in the lead here, I would say, are sYn and Cube, because but Cube. So we're not sure which stone he's missing. He's missing one stone.
He's missing the brown stone. So that was
the cut. That was
in right tower. In right tower chest.
A right tower chest. Oh.
No, excuse me. I'm reading the sheet wrong. Sheet wrong. So that is the squirrel in the tree.
Okay.
With the delicious seed squirrel. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's the delicious seed squirrel roommate. But he must have been released earlier because SYN got that stone and he didn't go through the tower, and he's just going through the tower now.
Oh, and that was the squirrel in Laynol.
In Laynol.
That Plasma note
could possibly.
On.
Wait, okay. It was PlasmaKappa that died in Laynol and skipped part of it, right?
Yes.
So, okay. So maybe I don't know if he's missing that, but maybe. No, I mean Cube cleared all of Laynol, right? Maybe he just did. He go back there and check that item?
I don't think.
I guess not.
Did. And
yeah,
he has both of our cats for our A-Leaf.
So assuming that SYN, remembers to check Dr. Lee, do the cutscene here, he's in pretty good shape. And there was only one more item, the Soul Blade, which we'll see. I mean, if it's in the world of evil, then SYN has a pretty good path here.
And if it's not, it will be hunt for the Soul Blade.
Yeah.
Because there are so many places it could end up being outside of that. We see a lot of our runners kind of clearing up a little bit of everything, trying to figure that out. There, SYN gets Bob the Builder.
Because what we're not seeing anyone go to Loon, which is where the other grandma is. And we have not seen that Soul Blade. So if we had seen another runner get the Soul Blade, I'd be a little less convinced. But if we don't see that, and it ends up being in the world of evil, that's going to be huge for SYN. He's happy to see that elemental male get a little extra defense. He's still using the Zantetsu sword. He could be using the spirit sword and getting a little more attack power. PlasmaKappa clearing the first floor of the fire shrine.
Yeah, he's in light shrine now.
Or the light shrine, right, and not getting that. By coming back...
Oh, SYN not doing Dr. Leo.
He did do Dr. Leo? Oh no.
Nope, it's all the way up there and has noped out on it to come check King Magritte and items he's released down here.
I mean, he does have access to the world of E. Oh, okay, he's gonna get this. Okay, maybe he's gonna do a few other checks first, and then go back. We'll see. He hasn't gone he hasn't left the world yet. He must have, because he cleared the basement and the right tower, and that's where all the guards were. So I think he's got them. He might just be checking some other spots first, or maybe just making a gamble on going to the world of evil. Oh no, he's gonna do it. So he's probably gonna check all the chests and no, he's gonna. Oh, he's gonna do the dancing grandmas. That's a good
dancing
call.
grandmas.
Because the dancing grandmas could have a soul armor or soul blade. We've seen a lot of other areas cleared and no soul blade yet. So we're not in no mode, but that's the only one that we don't know.
Now, so sub 2 hour dancing grandmas, everybody.
It's always a great time to kind of get up and stretch.
Shake off your nerves to where you've cleared everything else and you're just like, yes, it's finally done.
That's right. So the dancing grandma's check had a sword. It wasn't the sword that we need. Edgy is also doing Ghost Ship and the Secret Cave. And, if you're looking for an item, that's not, a bad call.
No, definitely not a bad call when you're looking for items and you've got all the NPCs you need.
Yeah, you've got four items in the Secret Cave, you've got the power bracelet chest, and then you've got the another chest on the ship.
So 6 items plus, a couple NPCs. If you take the time, there's PlasmaKappa getting the brown stone. So,
and Cube is heading to Loon. He's gonna get his last grandma. And it's possible that Cube's thinking is, I still need one of the grandmas, so I'm going to go clear layers and not worry about NPCs. So I'm going to clear layers and not worry about items just yet, because I need to get this NPC anyway, so I'm going to go to some other areas and clear get these items and also get some layers, get the grandma, and then maybe get our soul blade, soul armor, Phoenix.
I know that's how I would play. I mean, unless I got like a really super early World of Evil and, needed still just a whole bunch of items.
Yeah.
Then I might dip in here because, hey, that might be my progression item, that I need for somewhere else. But.
Right. So SYN's play here, not bad. We know it's not the right play. He needs to go to. He needs to do the Leo cutscene. Yeah.
but at the same time, sYn going ahead and getting all of this pathing done, you know, will make it super easy for him to get to the end when he does find his soul armor and his soul blade.
So the first 2 chests, we got 2 chests so far and no soul blade. Since we have the soul armor, oh no! So the soul armor is in logic, right? We know that he could get the soul armor, but without that soul armor, he's going to be taking damage in that last area. But that last area, could potentially have the soul blade, a vanilla soul blade. So if we have a vanilla soul blade in that last area, he can try and sequence break it. But he doesn't have the soul armor, so that's gonna be tricky. Okay, and we're not seeing it here. Let's see what he does. Is he gonna try and do the sequence break? No, he's gonna take a death warp. He could have at least checked the first chest in there pretty easily. But he can check the side path here. He's not going to check it?
I think he's realizing that he doesn't have the soul armor, and meaning that right now he would be out of logic. And so he's going to go try to find it somewhere else.
Okay.
But where all does he have left to go?
He's probably got a bunch of NPCs he hasn't checked. So this is good for all the other racers. You know, sYn looked like he was in great shape, but now he's off track a bit. I mean, we haven't seen the soul blade, so, you know, it's possible this soul blade is somewhere else, but we've got 3 chests in the World of Evil. Now, that backdoor chest in the World of Evil, that is in logic without soul armor, because you can open up the chest, you know, you can open up that teleporter and then go back to the beginning and get there. So that chest is in logic without the soul armor. So there's 3 chests in the World of Evil that we didn't see that could have it.
Okay, and PlasmaKappa and our 5th runner are both currently doing Durin kind of in sync right this minute, so.
Have we seen anyone else do Durian? There's quite a few items here, and also a lot of.
I haven't seen anybody else do this.
Okay, because this would be. If it wasn't in the World of Evil, this might be my next guess. Just based on the fact that we haven't seen it yet anywhere. Okay, and I think that's the first time anyone actually talked to the Emblem Fairy, and the word is the magic armor. So we will not have a pedestal seed tonight.
Not for this run. Didn't in our first race. Who knows what our next one has? Oh, and I can just feel sYn getting so frustrated at this point.
So who's winning? I mean, I would still say sYn has an advantage because he knows he needs 2 items, and we know he has access to one of them. He's gonna get there eventually, and he's probably gonna do that Leo cutscene before he starts doing like new areas. Before he does, yeah, look at that. He's gonna walk out, so he's not gonna do like. Actually, he doesn't have Rockbird.
I was gonna say he hasn't unlocked Rockbird and Durin, so
yeah, it is difficult to keep track of all the NPCs that you've talked to. But yeah, he knows that he has 2 items to get.
So Argan, you have to understand, so many of us in the community have run so many seeds that, you know, you tend to see which ones have burnt us like really badly in in regards to missing a layer or having an item that's really required. Like you'll see the runners like instantly run for that. Dr. Leo has burnt all of us numerous times, so we're all kind of like, we get to it when we get to it. But most of the time, by the time we're there, we've already got most of the stuff. So this has been very unusual for 2 seeds in this tournament to Dr. Leo be 100% required.
Yeah. So Cube is almost done with Loon here. He's gonna pick up his second grandma, and then he'll just be 1 stone away. And there she is. SYN going for Model Town 1. I mean, this could be a spot where or no, this is the second Model Town. Because I believe we saw, I think Kappa did it. Someone did this Model Town, and got that chest.
Was it Edgy that did it?
It might be, yeah.
Kappa just unlocked it.
Okay.
Welcome back, Queenie.
A Thunder Ring. So the rest of the sea not have anything. It was Bluster. Bluster had a few things we needed, and nothing else in the ocean did.
And so if you missed the commentary of earlier stream, earlier race, this boss NPC was actually changed from the Japanese version to the version that you're witnessing because of censorship. It was a female. It is now a male. Okay, Kappa back in the painting, getting the things that he missed there, which was Bluster. Is somewhere in here, I believe.
It was either this one or maybe in the Fire Shrine metal enemies.
Oh, trying to take a death warp and forgetting he had his herb on, it looked like.
No, we've all done that. SYN having some trouble finding these invisible enemies. It's a lot easier if you have the light arrow. We said SYN is a veteran of the vanilla speedrun, and the enemies are in the same place in the rando as they're in the speedrun. And this is actually the vanilla enemy for this layer. It's just that in the vanilla speedrun, you have light arrow. And if you're a speedrunner, what you keep track of is, I need to do the light arrow with my orb at this particular spot. And the light arrow is so awesome, it just goes shoom shoom and the enemies are all dead. But we can't do that without the light arrow. It's a little harder with the magic flare.
And ALIEnCUBE doing our dancing grandmas.
We're past 2 hours here, so it looks like I'll have the fastest clear. No one will beat my time from the last seed.
But this seed has been particularly fast, other than it did have a very rough start. So remembering that much of it, kind of helps put in perspective, like, how close these seeds can be for these runners when they have the experience.
So SYN needs to go to. We know that he needs the soul armor from the Leo cutscene check, and we believe he has all the soldiers to do it. I think he just noped out of. He just decided not to do it, and then he decided to go do the model town.
Okay, there's PlasmaKappa finding his 6th stone that he had left. So he's done.
But he has not gotten his. He hasn't gotten his soul armor or his phoenix. Kappa was playing a little more fast and loose than some of the other runners, and he skipped Bluster. He's gone back and opened. He's got the statue available,
and he hasn't gone and gotten his lucky blade to be able to do Loon to get his other grandma. Yeah, his other grandma. Nope, nobody's found the Soul Blade yet, Queenie.
Yeah, nobody's found the Soul Blade. It could be so. There are 3 chests that SYN did not check in the World of Evil because he didn't have the Soul Armor, and one that he could have checked it. Now wait, did SYN? Did he take a death earlier, or did he forget to do something here? Why is he going in the basement again?
Or did he did the first level and not the second half of it? He noped out. So maybe he didn't have that soldier and now is realizing, oh well, this is the only place it can be.
That could be it. That could be it. If he skipped this and that would explain why he didn't do that cutscene. So PlasmaKappa going through the final area.
There's his other soldier. So
there we go.
But
so Kappa in the final area. It seems like he's he's in the final stretch here, but actually we know that he needs a few items that are not here. So not actually as much progress as it looks for Kappa. Cube also getting ready for disappointment in the secret water cave here.
But again, we are still on the lookout for where the Soul Blade is.
Yeah. Since there was a bunch of spots that got checked since then, and it hasn't been disproven, I'm still guessing that it's in the World of Evil. It's in one of the chests that SYN didn't get. There's three spots he didn't check.
Again, like I said earlier, I'll let everybody take in the moment as it comes, since I do know. PlasmaKappa is showing exactly how much easier it is to find those NPCs or those enemies with the light arrow versus other magics. No, we know that the soul armor is on Dr. Leo. Queenie. So we have managed to make Dr. Leo the star of this tournament this time.
So yeah, a lot of people going the wrong direction. I mean, we did see Cube finish Loon, which only Loon. Only Cube and SYN have finished Loon, which is big because they had one of the dancing grandmas.
He's currently in the castle basement, so I mean he's still in the running here, because he's going through kind of clearing everything logically as you progress through it. So
okay, yeah. Again, he doesn't have a tracker on his stream, and I'm not watching closely enough to keep track of everything he's got here, but. Okay, so SYN opened up these mermaid statues, but hopefully for him, he recognizes that he has all the soldiers for the Leo cutscene. But we'll see. We'll see where he goes.
There in chat, I just put links to all of the runners, all of our restreamers, and commentators. Excuse me.
Oh no!
Gaming is our restreamer. Like I said, oh,
Oh no, sYn going
please.
underwater instead of... He was looking so promising because he had everything. He checked the stones. He had all of the stones before everyone else, and he made it to the world of evil. And but he forgot. Well, he had skipped part of the lab. He went back and did it. I think he's got all the soldiers now. And he could do the Leo cutscene, which has the soul armor. And then the soul armor could be blocking some of the last chests in the world of evil that might have the soul blade. But instead, he's going to go underwater, where we know that there hasn't been anything of consequence.
Well, I think we do have at least one cat that we unlock in Rockbird to then get to those 2 checks in the lab.
Okay.
So, I mean, still some places for progression and items, but...
Looks like sYn is going to go... He's going to go for a bit of an item rush approach here. So, edgiestick and Plasma, they're both missing the grandma, and so they know that they need to check NPCs, whereas sYn thinks he's only needs an item. So he's going to check these chests first, and probably the gem. And we'll see if he does the same with the rest of the ocean. So that's right. Yeah, we haven't seen the mouse hole. That's an interesting spot. Some of the layers in the model town are like hidden. They're behind like a soul that you have to reveal. Okay, now we've got ALIENsCUBE, who did he did get all the stones, and he got the soul armor, and he's in the world of evil, and he also picked up all of the things. So if the soul blade is in the world of evil, then Cube is in great shape. But we know it's not in these first few chests. But since Cube has the soul armor, he's going to be able to check everything.
So if I remember correctly, last year when ALIENsCUBE was doing the tournament seeds, like he came back from this, seeming to be in last the whole race to just clear it, because he does this very steady approach, and it's amazing to see that it doesn't necessarily take somebody who can do everything fast to win. And so that's why I'm really excited that we did get to do this these races with the streamers, because our community is always growing, and it gets really hard to tell somebody they don't get to participate because of a time that is super close to somebody who is getting to stream. So now eventually we'll get so big that we may have multiple weekends, and then this could be a totally different story. But right now we're working with what we've got. I hope that all of the participants this year appreciate the extra links that we went to try to make this more inclusive. ALIENsCUBE still being really, really thorough, making sure he grabs everything.
Oh,
and he's gonna forget.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, he almost forgot this chest. This is the vanilla soul armor chest. Okay, so now we're getting to the spots that we haven't seen yet. So will the soul blade here? And if it is, Cube wins, basically. Wait, didn't he skip a...
He did. He skipped the one down there. So we'll see if he goes back for it, or if he even knows it's there. Because, like I said,
yeah, it's pretty rare that like you end up coming back here. You almost always have everything you need by this point. Okay, will it be in the vanilla chest? No. But he's still skipped this chest. Let's see if he realizes it. Oh no! Okay, well, maybe it could be in the backdoor chest. Remember, we have not seen any runner get the Soul Blade. We don't know where it is, at least I don't. Is it in the backdoor chest? No! Okay, so where does Cube go next? He did not realize that he skipped a chest. So we still haven't seen all the chests in World of Evil, which we should have.
But now we do know that, you know, sYn's round the world trying to figure out what he's left hasn't completely come to bite him yet. So,
yeah,
as far as we know.
So the Harpstring Soldier, ALIENsCUBE did not have the Harpstring Soldier here.
And Eddie just found the Soul Blade. It is in the wall on the mouse.
Oh wow. Okay, but edgiestick has not done Loon to get the last grandma. Okay, so it's in the wall. And where were these the cats and the mouse? They were in the sea.
So
the sea is required.
Is in Rockbird.
Okay.
The second cat was in the lab somewhere.
Okay.
The mouse for the wall is in the basement.
Oh.
And in the painting. So.
Wow. Edgy doing the left tower. Oh, he doesn't have. Okay, so he doesn't have his grandma. He doesn't realize he's not going to Loon. So instead of Loon, he's going to do the left tower. It is hard to make that, you know, that call when you've got one thing left. So we have. I guess sYn also needs to do he still needs to pick up his soul armor, so. Okay, so Cube not going to get a comeuppance from skipping that chest in the World of Evil.
So herb percent comes from the fact that we get a lot of herbs in the game, and so it was just a fun little play on words for the game.
We're going to see a longer seed than we did in the last race, because this was just brutal. And like, in addition to a really brutal early game, we've got this last item just placed in a crazy spot where you have to unlock 3 different NPCs, and you have to realize the item rush mode was a trap. It actually did.
PlasmaKappa getting ready to do maybe the wall?
Yes. Oh, he's gonna get that.
Link to the Discord in chat if you're interested in learning how to play.
Now, did sYn clear? I saw him rush the chests in Rockbird first. Did he clear all of the NPCs?
No, he didn't.
No? Oh no! Okay, so we know that one of them is the cat that we need to get in the wall. Where? Oh wow!
So again, still anybody's race.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, and
the goat hint. So Kappa knows he has to do Bluster.
Yep, knows he has to go and do Bluster now.
He still needs to do Loon. Actually, and I forget where the Loon Grandpa was. I don't know, maybe he was missing it? Maybe it was in Bluster?
Grandpa to Loon was in South Arta.
south. Okay, good. Okay, so he's got full. Oh wait, no, he doesn't have the lucky blade. He doesn't have the lucky blade. And the lucky blade was in the mermaid. The mermaid in the house. Yep. That's right. Okay.
So those that we would consider top runners in this seed are just skipping some of the most obvious places right now.
I mean, I don't know if Kappa's been so fast and loose. I don't know if he might have skipped it, or there's something where those mermaids are. So you need the dolphin that opens up a platform, and then there's the mermaid.
And edgiestick going to check the demon bird NPC. He checked.
I mean, from most perspectives, an amazing race. And we're gonna get to see Demon Bird as well. But the place, I mean, to be fair, the placement of all this is pretty crazy. Getting something in the mouse hole with all of the NPCs scattered so much is.
So, Ghost, the metal sword, the Zentetsu sword, is almost required at some point to complete every seed. Occasionally, we'll get the Soul Blade earlier than the Z sword, but for the most part, it is almost required. Oh no, Queenie, you missed it. This seed has pretty much been, everybody had bubble armor all the way till the end. So Solar's accidentally wearing it has become memed even harder by these runners just being forced to do it.
edgiestick saying, getting the question, are you a real human being? And he says no! Oh, poor Lisa.
That's being honest, though.
Well, you know. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you say. Either way, she says, just go by while my back is turned. Yeah.
Okay, SYN back in Act 6. But what all is he checking?
That's right. He needs to check...
Dr. Leo.
Yeah, he needs to check Dr. Leo. That's the...
Okay, so that soldier right there, if he had an item that we needed, it would say you see something under his feet. Since we're getting just his I come here to relax, it means that he does not have an item that we need. Oh, maybe he realizes that he has that cutscene now.
Yeah. Edgy, go ahead and he cleared Tyndall. Okay, SYN's gonna get his soul armor. We know the soul blade is in the mouse hole.
Which we know SYN is missing.
And yeah, he's missing, yeah. Okay, so now things are looking a little dark. Things are looking not so good for SYN because he's skipped an NPC check. He knows he only needs an item, but it turned out the item was on an NPC. And so he's probably going to check the chest in the World of Evil, which, can't argue with that play, but we know it's not the right one. So we have 2 runners with Soul Blade, 3 with Soul Armor now. Let's see, and Kappa finished Bluster, so he's got his Phoenix. So everyone has Phoenix.
Yes, Kappa finally went back and got Phoenix after getting that hint for Bluster.
And the Worthless Ocean turned out to be pretty valuable, although really just Rockbird and Bluster.
Okay, so then back in the World of Evil to get these last couple of chests. We'll see. I bet you everybody's starting to look at the race room going, nobody's finished yet? Nobody's finished yet? Oh, I still got a chance. Nobody's finished yet.
Yeah, why is anyone finished yet? It's going to be any time.
See, and there you just saw the extra message on Kappa's screen where it said there was a medical herb under that soldier's feet, but because sYn had one, it gave us just a, I come here to relax.
Kappa's going for the left tower as well.
Herb percent goal is to beat the randomizer. We call it herb percent because the herbs are like the bane of our existence in the randomizer because it seems like you either have it and you don't need it, or you need it and don't have it. So.
Wow. Okay, so sYn getting the bad news that the Soul Blade, well, I don't think he checked the backdoor one, but still, like, getting the bad news that the Soul Blade is not here. And he may realize that he's checked all the NPCs that he can, and he needs to release more.
But then he has to decide where that place to go look for him is. Because, I mean, he knows that he's going to have to go back to Rockbird. He knows he's got NPCs there.
Yeah.
Arkin, it is on the mouse in the wall in the lab.
But at this point, I have to give it to Edgy because he's in the right place. He's gonna find his grandma here. In fact, he realized he was starting to beat the enemies to get to that to get to the crystal that has an item. And I think he realized, wait a minute, I need one grandma. I don't need any items. So he went on to reveal some layers.
Oh, that's right. Alien is in go mode and on the way to the final boss.
Oh, there he
is. We totally missed.
Oh, Cube had, okay. We missed the Cube had. He must have found. What was he? His last item must have been. He must have done the. Oh, while I was looking at Edgy. Looks like Cube's gonna get this. Edgy's not gonna be that far behind. He's got to get his last grandma here. So depending on what order he does this, but I mean, with sYn in the Light Shrine and Kappa in the left tower, I don't think either of them is gonna be close.
And our off-stream racer, he's currently in Loon, but still kind of in the earlier parts of it. So, and he still has quite a bit to finish in Act 6 and whatnot. So.
Cube's in his death toll fight. I didn't catch which items they have. I think he has the power bracelet. Did anyone find the super bracelet?
I don't think they did. Yes, very much so, Saban. Edgy is looking in to be a great spot for the potential wild card at this point. Just depending on how quickly he gets through all this and if he doesn't make any mistakes in this final fight.
It looks Kappa's kind of fast and loose style here kind of backfired because he missed the Lucky Blade. and is not doing Loon.
Andy hasn't checked Sleeping Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
GG QB.
GG's. So his official time here is 2:28:06. So that time would have landed him. That time I don't think would have made. We had like maybe 2 or 3 people finish by that time in the last race. Our time difference was I think 16 minutes. 16 minutes 17 seconds. So it looks like Edgy's probably going to be able to make that. But the timer is going. So he's going to have to finish at what? 2:30 2:40 44 44:23. So he's got he's got like 14 minutes here.
Which it totally doesn't take 14 minutes to get through the World of Evil.
No. And actually, did he already go through the World of Evil?
No, he's just
no, that's right, yeah. Cycles. He's the only runner that has it. I think we saw a fairly full clear. I mean, I think sYn is going to clear everything by the time he's done. He's going to Model Town 1 now.
I'm still not sure that QB is going to come in and do an interview with us just due to time differences and language barriers.
That's totally fine.
Which we completely understand, but I just wanted to let everybody know why we might not have him in afterwards. But he has gotten the invite. If he decides to join us, we'll gladly talk to him.
So early on, I think, it looked like sYn and Edge and Kappa had the advantage, but it seems that a more thorough approach was the winning method on this seed.
And so yes, I have received word from QB that he is not going to be joining us for an interview. But again, we'll just wait for whoever ends up second here, and when they finish, we'll talk with them. And like I said, we'll talk with every runner if they feel up to it.
Edgy knows what he needs to do. He just needs to beat Death Toll, and he's making a beeline for it.
And he's already level 24, so he doesn't have to worry about grinding for his level. And so he's just going to go straight there, not open up the little teleport, just to get a free health. So since I see ALIEnCUBE in the chat now. GG, sir, for coming back from behind what it seemed like during the whole seed. Yet again, it's awesome to watch you run this game, by the way. And Edgy here on the death toll fight. See what his time ends up being here very, very soon.
He's being very careful on this fight to try and avoid damage because he's missing health. He's probably got a medical herb, but he's got the power ring. I'm guessing he's only got the power ring and not the super bracelet.
Probably. Okay, so sYn does have the super bracelet. I don't remember where he picked that up.
What we didn't find on ALIENsCUBE side was Tiki to reveal Turbo's grave, and that's gonna soft lock the ending. Of course, it's already a win before then, but our off-stream runner is going into right tower now. I think he's gotten everything else.
Queenie, we can't do that. Because to be 100% honest, everybody, I didn't even find Tiki in the seed, so... And with that, Edgy completes his seed.
His official time is 2:35:38, and that does put him in lead for the wild card spot. So that is 7 minutes and 32 seconds.
Oh, I really can feel sYn getting like so angry at this point.
Oh, Kappa never went back and did this. Wow.
Race room time has 2:35:38.
Yeah, poor sYn. Wow. I mean, he looked so good. I had him picked for the lead earlier.
Okay, our off-stream runner is currently doing the Dr. Leo cutscene, so he's about to have his soul armor.
I believe we had something in PlasmaKappa is down in the third basement of the fire shrine, and I believe there was something required on this layer.
The old man for the painting.
Right.
Is one in that room, and Grandpa Logs was in Fire Shrine Room 3. couple other things, but I don't remember which one was like the metal layer.
Okay, yeah, there it is. That's Grandpa Log, so... But... Kappa still needs to find another grandma. Oh, which... Possibly... Something... There's possibly something blocking it in Leo's painting.
I mean, if the tracker's correct, that's the one in Loon.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, and like I said, that mermaid he needs was in Watershine.
Okay, so he should have that mermaid. He just needs to go up to that mermaid.
Yeah.
He must not have realized he has that check available in the water. We could have an interesting race for third here. I think they're both trying to figure out what they missed. But it looks like sYn is probably heading back to clear the layers he skipped, and that will get him the mouse hole or the cats. And
Welcome in, Edgy. GG's.
Welcome, GG's.
Thank you, thank you.
So, in case you didn't realize it, you now have the wild card entry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That makes dying so much in Greenwood not feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty good performance. I mean, we had pretty good runs from everyone, and this was a pretty rough seed too.
Yeah, there were certain spots in here that were really bad. I'm surprised I did that well.
There were different points where I think almost everyone we would pick for being in the lead. So
hey,
yeah,
we all had to suffer together.
Yeah, and I mean, this was a scavenger hunt too that had you going pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, there were only a couple places I think I didn't hit, and I mean, a couple of them I didn't have to, but
yeah,
it was definitely spread out. That's a pretty good seed, though.
Yeah. I think all of those spots sYn has hit, though. He needs to go to Rockbird, or did he already do it?
He just got the other cat.
Okay. So, and maybe he realized that as soon as he got it, that was what he needed.
So, Edgy, we've been asking everybody, what brought you into this randomizer this year?
Well, I was here last year. It was 2 years ago, 3 years. I think it was 2 years ago when I caught this tournament. It's an annual tournament, and I was like, do you have a randomizer for Soul Blazer? So I had to go looking for it, and eventually I found it and started playing it, and I saw Solar Cell streamed it sometime, and I found your Discord, and that's kind of how I fell into with your group, so. I used to play this game back when I was a kid. This was one of our frequent rentals back when you would rent video games from the video store. So I was already used to like everything about the games in the kid memory.
Very, very cool. Just so everybody knows, our off-stream runner right now, he is currently in the world of evil. Again, he does not have a tracker or anything for us to be able to see whether he's got everything to complete yet or not, but he should be fairly close since he's cleared just about everything all the way through.
He was checking the chest, so I think he's missing something, either Soul Blade or the armor. Meanwhile, Kappa, we think that all he's missing, he doesn't realize that he can get the Lucky Blade from an NPC in St. L's. He needs to get that Lucky Blade and go to Loon. and then he also needs to get the needs to do the Leo cutscene, but I think he might have that as well.
For the racers that have finished up, PlasmaKappa took like a commanding lead and went almost all the way to the end of the game, and has just kind of left things kind of free floating here at the end, and has been backtracking quite heavily, trying to figure out what all he's left.
So he's gonna try and sequence break this and open up the teleporter.
Okay, and with that, sYn has completed with a official time of 2:44:28.
Good job,
GG's
sYn.
sYn.
And I'm gonna say sorry, everybody, that the music kind of goes away. Kappa unfortunately has his volume down kind of low, so but we will see if sYn wants to come in and do a little interview after he's done. Oh, and that plant having flame ball, like that would have been so much more useful early on.
Oh yeah.
All of them are like that too. I was trying to hit stuff with magic flare and it's just out of range.
sYn, are you gonna join us? Welcome in, sYn. GG's on finishing.
Good job, sYn.
Thank you.
GG's.
I truth be told, I was going to forfeit if that last item check did not have the blade. Because at that point I was like, I'm not going back through all these areas because I had no idea where to go then. I mean, I was thinking of finishing Rockbird. I was like so happy though, at least I was able to finish. But thank you.
You were so close. You were my pick for the lead for quite a bit at the end there, but you had missed. It seemed for a while no one got the Soul Blade, and we thought that the Soul Blade could have been in the World of Evil, but
yeah, that's where I gunned it for, and then I knew, like, I came back to Rockbird because at that point I was just in chest checking mode. Like, I really didn't care about any pop. I didn't pop any other layers for NPCs. That's why I skipped that one for Rockbird. I skipped all of them in Rockbird. I skipped as many as I could, with thinking, I'm not going to come back. I went all the way back to Light Shrine for chest.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody actually went back to Light Shrine.
No, actually, yeah.
I thought about it. I thought about it for a minute, but then I went to Loon first because like that's a voice in my head was telling me to go to Loon, and I ignored it twice and struck out twice, so I went there first.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
sYn, you were the first to do Loon, and also the first to do Dancing Grandmas by a wide margin.
I was struggling in the beginning. I thought I was going to be way behind. I took some pretty bad deaths in the beginning. The one in Fire Shrine, and then what a seed! Like, I don't know how many people checked Leo again quickly. That was bizarre. Like you, I don't know. I have not watched any of it, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, I'll go rewatch it and see all the horrible things I did.
But just remember that, you know, you'll also be seeing all the things that all the other runners did and see where they made their mistakes.
We're all guilty of some mistake somewhere.
What a wild seed, though. I mean, it had to be fun to watch because we were all over the place, I think.
How about that Greenwood, huh?
Yeah,
Greenwood. So after you guys got the Zentetsu sword from Act 2, like, everybody started going everywhere. Like, we had 3 or 4 of you went back into Fire Shrine. Our off-stream runner, he went back and did the painting. PlasmaKappa just took off to like Act 5, and so it became really hard to like follow everything you guys were finding. And our off-stream runner has completed. He has an official time of 2:49:24.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, everybody had a really good go at this. I'm pretty sure it was tough though. I honestly the thing that threw me, we got Zentetsu late. It was funny because we had bubble armor almost the whole way. I'm like, I'm not doing Act 5 with bubble armor. We joked about solar and bubble armor, and I was like, I'm gonna be dead in Act 5. So I came back to that too.
The shield bracelet really saved it for having no armor in the late game.
Yeah, that was tough with just bubble armor for a while.
Okay, so Kappa finally finding where his lucky blade was.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Yeah, there was a few checks around there. I think I even went back to that mermaid twice because I forgot if I checked her.
Okay, so Kappa has officially forfeited, and the race is over. We'll invite him in if he wants to come.
Yeah, we're all in here now, so you better come in.
I'm trying to find out if our off-stream runner wants to come in for interview. Welcome in, Kappa.
Life is difficult.
Well, we could hear you.
We feel you,
Yeah.
Kappa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone had something.
I was screwed anyway.
Really did.
I skipped 2 other things, even, so there was no hope.
So, Kappa, you got through Act 2, got the Zentetsu sword, and then just took off to the end of the game pretty much.
Yeah.
And then started coming back to everything. Like, what was your thought process behind going so far forward before doubling back, even just as you had to?
Well, stuff's pretty slow. You know, my experience with randos playing Zelda, so I'm like, oh, why don't I just go fast straight on to the end of the game? If I skip to Act 6 and I kill things, I can swing my sword and kill things faster.
Okay, and so like I've asked everybody else so far during my commentary, what brought everybody into the Soul Blazer Rando?
Yeah, I just like the game. That's all.
Yeah, personally, this was my favorite game growing up, this and ActRaiser. And then Queenie saw me running vanilla and says, "You got to join the randomizer community. It's amazing." And I put her off for like 6 months, and then I just finally gave in and I was happy to. This is my first tournament, and I just loved getting ready for this and enjoying actually participating this year. So thank you, and thank you for all the work behind the scenes. Unbelievable.
Oh, you all are welcome.
Yep. I had a few deaths, so the best way to get past that is to not do things that are long. If they have nothing, they all had something.
Yeah, I wish that World of Evil had a soul armor or soul blade. It did not.
I was tempted to go there, but I still had a dancing grandma missing, so it had to be somewhere with a release somewhere. So I was still looking at the rest of the world.
Yeah. There were some buried sequences for sure. Long sequences.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Axeman, you got anything else you want to ask?
It was special for me. I thought we had a pretty good race. We got to see some different styles of routing things, which was nice.
Yeah, we'll go back and see what everyone else did on that seed, because it was pretty good.
Okay, well, everybody, so we have one more race left for today that will start at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So we got about 45 minutes. Hopefully we won't have the tech delay issues that we've been having in the past 2 races. So congratulations to Axeman and ALIENsCUBE for making it to the final tomorrow. Edgy currently has our wild card position, but we will see what happens with this final race. Finals tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on SpeedGaming.
That's Eastern, right?
Yes, Eastern time. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for hosting us. Thank you, Queen Anne, for putting forth the front side of getting this set up. I myself am, again, co-organizer and have vetted most of the seeds. Thank you to our runners who have all participated. Thank you for everybody who has put themselves up for commentary. SYN, I know you are commentating with Queen Anne.
Oh, yes.
You're in the next race.
Yep.
Again, links to our runners, commentary, link in the Discord, link for the Discord will be posted again. And I hope to see everybody in the final match today in about 45 minutes. Have a nice day, everyone.
See you there. GG.
Yep.
Thanks,
See
everybody.
everyone
See you there.
tomorrow.
GG.